Devin Schipple, are you the transcriptionist today? I unmuted you. Devin Schipple, are you the transcriptionist today?
Yes, I am. Can you
Thank you.
Good morning, we're on the record. Good morning, everyone. As chairperson of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board for the District of Columbia, and in accordance with DC Code Section 25764 of the Open Meetings Act, I am welcoming you to an emergency meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. This meeting has been conducted pursuant to guidance made available by the District of Columbia's Office of Open Government regarding electronic meetings held by public bodies during the public emergency. Pursuant to this guidance, notice of today's meeting was provided 48 hours in advance of the meeting on ABRA's website and on the district central meeting calendar. The notice includes the time, date, agenda, and call-in or login information for public participation. This electronic meeting is being hosted by a WebEx account provided by the District of Columbia government. Please address any questions or complaints to the OOG at opengovoffice@dc.gov. My name is Donovan Anderson. I'm chairman of the board. I would like to introduce the other members of the ABC board who are also participating electronically pursuant to Mayor's Order 2021-119. Please respond when I announce your name. Mr. James Short.
Mr. James Short, present.
Miss Jenny Henson.
Jenny Hansen, present.
Mr. Ed Grandis.
Edward Grandis, present.
The board has 4 members in attendance for the conduct today, and that constitutes a quorum. We're going to start this morning with we just have some agenda items this morning, and the first agenda item that we will do this morning is the legal agenda. All right, the first matter on our legal agenda is a review of a settlement agreement dated November 1st, 2021 between the Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2E and the Citizens Association of Georgetown and the Bourbon Concierge, license number 119607. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson.
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 2 on our legal agenda is a review of a settlement agreement dated November 4th, 2021 between Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E and Bartco Mount Vernon, license number 119567. I make a motion that we approve this matter. Is there a second?
Edward Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson.
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 3 on our agenda, review of a settlement agreement dated November 5th, 2021 between Advisory Neighborhood Commission 6E and Joe Kerr, license number 119319. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson.
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 4 on our agenda, review of a settlement agreement dated December 1st, 2021 between Advisory Neighborhood Commission 1C, the Colorama Citizens Association, and Juicy King Crab Express, license number 119709. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson.
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 5 on our legal agenda, review of a review of an amendment to the settlement agreement dated October 14th, 2021 between Advisory Neighborhood Commission 2F and Climax Bar and Restaurant, license number 115645. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Edward Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 6, review of an applicant's motion for reconsideration of board order number 2021-871. This is order denying applicant's motion to dismiss the protest on BANCA dated December 13th, 2021. This is in the 18th Street Lounge. I make a motion that the license number is 118846. I make a motion that we deny this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis. Mr. Grandis. Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 7 is review of the protestant bankers' opposition to applicant's motion for reconsideration dated December 29th, 2021. This is an 18th Street Lounge, license number 118846. This matter is now moot. Number 8 is review of applicant's reply to bankers' opposition to motion for reconsideration dated December 27, 2021. This is 18th Street Lounge, license number 118846. This is also moot. And number 9 is a review of the suspension of the on-premises alcohol sales and consumption notice of 17th, emergency rulemaking. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. I did not mention this in my opening, but just want to let the public know that although we have 4 members of the public today, although we have 4 board members participating today, that number constitutes a quorum of the board for us to legally move forward and conduct business. All right, so let's move on to our licensing agenda. All right, the first matter on our licensing agenda is the review application for sports wagering endorsement. This is for Union Oyster Bar and Lounge, license number 110747. I make a motion that we placard this matter. Is there a second?
Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 2, review application to add dancing to the existing entertainment endorsement. This is for Zebra Bar and Grill, license number 079449. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 3, review application to add a rooftop summer garden endorsement with seating for 32 patrons. This is Zebra Bar and Grill, license number 079449. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Edward Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 4, review request to expand the premises to include the first and second floors along with the basement, expanding total occupancy load from 75 to 310. This is for Ocean Lounge, license number 114106. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second? Is there a
Ed
second?
Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. Number 5, review a request for an off-site storage permit endorsement to store unopened alcoholic beverage inventory off-site at Made to Measure Cocktails LLC at an approved storage facility located at 2221-B Adams Place Northeast. The request is been made by Raza, license number 116402. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. Number 6, review request for an off-site storage permit endorsement to store unopened alcoholic beverage inventory off-site at Made to Measure Cocktails LLC, an approved storage facility located at 2221-B Adams Place Northeast. This request is being made by Wingo's, license number 108985. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. Number 7, review request for an off-site storage permit endorsement to store unopened alcoholic beverage inventory off-site at Made to Measure Cocktails LLC, an approved storage facility located at 2221-B Adams Place Northeast. The request has been made by Raza Indian Grill, license number 106768. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. Number 8, review request for an off-site storage permit endorsement to store unopened alcoholic beverage inventory off-site at Made to Measure Cocktails LLC, an approved storage facility located at 2221-B Adams Place Northeast. This request has been made by Surfside, license number 113253. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. Number 9, review request for an off-site storage permit endorsement to store unopened alcoholic beverage inventory off-site at Made to Order Cocktails LLC, an approved storage facility located at 2221-B Adams Place Northeast. This request has been made by Millis, license number 100214. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. Number 10, review request for an off-site storage permit endorsement to store unopened alcoholic beverage inventory off-site at Made to Measure Cocktails LLC, an approved storage facility located at 2221-B Adams Place Northeast. This request has been made by Due South Dockside, license number 097053. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Jenny Hansen will second.
Ms. Henson has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 11, review application for the carryout and delivery endorsement. This is for Penn Social / Little Penn, license number 086808. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 12, review application for the carryout and delivery endorsement. This is for the ministry, license number 108087. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 13, review request to remove the summer garden endorsement from the license. This is for District Alley, license number 119080. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 14, review application for stipulated review application for stipulated license with letter of ANC support for a new ABC license. This is for Milk and Honey Cafe, license number 119672. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 15, review application for stipulated license with letter of ANC support for a new ABC license. This is for the AC Hotel Washington, D.C. Navy Yard, South Capitol Street, license number 119796. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 16, review application for stipulated license with letter of ANC support for a new ABC license. This is for the AC Hotel Washington, D.C. Navy Yard, South Capitol Hill, license number 119801. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote. On the motion, Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 17, review application for stipulated license with letter of ANC support for a new ABC license. This is for Juicy King Crab Express, license number 119709. I make a motion that we approve the request.
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 18, review application for stipulated license with letter of agency support for transfer to a new location. This is for the Carlos Restaurant, license number 001750. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. Number 19, review request for a nonprofit corporation auction permit for an auction fundraiser event featuring alcoholic beverage donations to be held from 8:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. on December 21st, 2021 at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. The request has been made by the Choral Arts Society of Washington, D.C. The license number is 21 auction-00006. I make a motion that we approve this request. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will
Jenny
second.
Hansen, I second.
Mr. Grandis and Ms. Henson, I second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. We now move to our cancellation agenda. The ABC Board will be canceling the following license for the reasons outlined before. The first one is Arcturus, license number 091137. The licensee is out of business. The second one is Apparel, license number 103271. The licensee is out of business. Number 3, Fuel Pizza and Wings, license number 088452. Licensee is out of business. And the last one is Bar Louie, license number 084428. Licensee is out of business. I make a motion that ABC Board cancels these licenses. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passes 4-0. We now move to our temporary one-day substantial change docket. There are 11 requests on this docket. I will review the names, the requests, and at the end of the list, I will make a motion that the ABC Board grants these licenses. The first request is a request made by Shital J. Debonair. This is for one-day license class F. This is for birthday party since January 15th, 2022. The license number is 120174. It's for 30 attendees and 1 security guard. The second request, a request made by Jasmine Tanner. This is for one-day license class F. This is a wedding reception on January 7th, 2022 from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Alcohol sales 6 p.m. to 9:30 on Florida Avenue. The license number is, sorry, I don't have the license number for this case. The next event is a request from Sham How Soon, one-day license class G. Excuse me, this is for New Year's celebration with dinner, DJ, cover charge, and dancing. This event is from December 31st, 2022 through January 2nd, December 31st, 2021 through January 2nd, 2022. This is 3 days. The license number is 120177. The fourth request, a request made by Joseph Jarrouje, Jarrouje. This is for a one-day license class G. This is for a Middle Eastern nights. The date of the event is December 30th, 2021 through January 2nd, 2022. The license number is 120177. I make a motion that ABC Board grants this request, that we also have a fact-finding hearing and that enforcement monitors this event to ensure that they are in compliance with the law. Is there a second? Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I
Grandis will
second.
second. Yeah.
Mr. Short and Mr. Grandis will second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote. We'll have a roll call vote on this matter. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
I'm sorry, and Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0. I'm sorry. Why did I call for a vote? I shouldn't have called for the vote. I apologize. So I need to, all right, so number 5 number 5, it's Cupid's Bar Crawl 2022. It's a pub crawl from DC events. It was conditionally approved on October 27, 2021 for 1,000 members. And I make a motion and for 1,000. And so the motion is for us to increase the number to 1,500. Number 6, it's the Shamrock Crawl 2022. It's a pub crawl. It was conditionally approved on October 27, 2021 for 1,000 participants. So the request is to increase it by 500 to 1,500. And number 7 is a request from Derek Bullock, a one-day license class G. This is a Christmas holiday event, December 31st through January 2nd, 2022, a three-day event. The license number is 120202. Number 8 is a request from ZJ Liquors LLC, trade name Chaco Spirits. It's a one-day substantial change. New Year's Eve celebration, extension of hours of operation and sales to 3 a.m. This is for the Chaco Spirits. Chaco Spirits. The license number for this event is 117128. Number 9 is a request from OHB DC LLC, trade name Arthur Half Brewing. So one-day substantial change. Private New Year's Eve event serving beer, wine, and spirits. This event is December 31st, 2021. The license number is 114148. Number 10 is a request from Zebby's Garden. This is for a one-day substantial change. It's a one-day substantial change to extend hours of operation and services to 4 a.m. on December 25th and New Year's Eve, December 31st. The license number is 116450. The substantial with 600 attendees. Number 11 is a request from Illy DC, a one-day substantial change. This is a New Year's Eve celebration on, of course, December 31st, 2021. The license number is 118113. And now I make a motion that the ABC board grants these requests with the recommendations that were made. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short, I second the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson.
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. All right, so let's now go to our one-day substantial change calendar. I'm sorry, the one-day licensing administrative dockets. The following applications were submitted to the Alcohol Beverage Control Board for review. There are 40 establishments on this docket. I'll review all 40. At the end of the list, I'll make a motion that the ABC board grants the request. Number 1 is a request made by Pizzeria Paradiso, license number 109295. They are Retailer C Restaurant, trade name change application. The new name is Pizzeria Paradiso and Cork Market. Number 2 A request made by TAP 99, license number 116883. They are Retailer C Tavern. This is for the carry out and delivery endorsement application. Number 3, a request made by Feria, license number 113445. They are Retailer C Restaurant. This is the carry out and delivery endorsement application. Number 4, Stein's Cafe, license number 114521, Retailer C Restaurant, carry out and delivery endorsement application. Number 6, Duffy's Irish Pub, license number 118030, Retailer C Tavern, corporate name change application. The new corporate name is Callister Technology and Entertainment LLC. Number 6, trade name Sumtom, license number 116352. Their Retailer C Restaurant corporate name change application. It's now Sumtom Holdings LLC. Number 7, Cool Restaurant, license number 107631. Their Retailer D Restaurant class change application from a Class D to a Class C. Number 8, I am Eddie Kano dash Nantucket Clam Shack / Jimmy's Phillies Steaks. License number 110237. They are Retailer C Restaurant. Letter of request to remove James G. member and divide his 47% shares with approved officers Carolyn Pepitai, member with 23.5 share, and Massimo Pepitai, member with 23.5 shares. Number 9, A&G Grocery, license number 101367, their Retailer B, class change application from B to an A, a Retailer B to Retailer A. Number 10, Sedesco Management, license number 074323, caterers license letter of request to change address from 500 5th Street Northwest to 2400 6th Street Northwest. Number 11, Seduxel Management, license number 074323, caterers license letter to request to remove license from safekeeping. Number 12, Church, license number 119851, Retailer C Tavern, trade name change application. The new name is Church / Georgetown Wing Company. Number 13, The Bottle Collection, license number 117070, Retailer A Liquor Store, new ABC license application. Number 14, Milk and Honey Cafe, license number 119672, Retailer C Restaurant, stipulated license application. Number 15, Murray's Grill, license number 105876, Retailer C Restaurant, stock transfer application. Number 16, Akedo, license number 119595, Retailer C Tavern, new ABC license application. Number 17, The Bourbon Concierge, license number 119607, Retailer A Liquor Store, new ABC license application. Number 18, New Columbia Distilleries / Green Hat Gin / Green Hat Distillery, license number 116565, Manufacturer A, stock transfer application. Number 19, Holiday Inn Capitol Hill, license number 120122, Retailer C Hotel transfer without sale application. Number 20, Cook's Run Fermentation, license number 119834, Manufacturer A, new ABC license application. Number 21, Gray's Market, license number 120092, Retailer B, transfer with sale application. Number 22, Taco City DC2, license number 120148, Retailer C Restaurant, transfer with sale application. Number 23, the Moxie Hotel Washington DC, license number 119964, Retailer C Hotel Transfer with Sale application. Number 24, Central Michael Richard, license number 120062, Caterers License New ABC License Application. Number 25, Historic Congressional Cemetery, license number 117891. Their retailer CX Multi-Purpose Facility New ABC License Application. Number 26, Union Kitchen, license number 118692. Retailer B Full Service Grocery New ABC License Application. Number 27, Union Kitchen, license number 118691. Retailer B Restaurant New ABC License Application. Number 28, Alamo Draft House Cinema, license number 119584. Retailer CX Multipurpose Facility New ABC License Application. Number 29, Bottles, license number 118823. Retailer C Tavern New ABC License Application. Number 30, Blue Moon, license number 118303. Retailer C Tavern New ABC License Application. Number 31, New Columbia Distilleries / Green Hat Gin / Distillery, license number 119963. Manufacturer A Stock Transfer Application. Number 32, The Italian Bar, license number 119392. Retailer C Restaurant New ABC License Application. Number 33, Foxtrot, Retailer B Retailer Full Service Grocery New ABC License Application. Number 34, Foxtrot, license number 119161. Retailer C Restaurant New ABC License Application. Number 35, Mario's, license number 118826. Retailer C Restaurant Stock Transfer Application. Number 36, Chartwell's Dine-In Services, license number 120163. Caterers License New ABC License Application. Number 37, Courtyard by Marriott, Washington DC, DuPont Circle, license number 119965. Retailer C Hotel Transfer with Sale Application. Number 38, The Runaway, license number 119275. Retailer C Restaurant New ABC License Application. Number 39, Juicy King Crab Express, license number 119707. Retailer C Restaurant stipulated license application. And number 40, VIP Lounge, license number 119913. Retailer C Restaurant Transfer with Sale Application. I therefore make a motion that ABC Board grants these licenses. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis will second.
Mr. Grandis has second. The motion will now have a roll call vote on the motion. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Mr. Cato,
He's not here.
Miss, you know, I need to look at the screen. I apologize. Miss Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 4-0-0. I'm preparing to close the meeting, so I'm doing too many things at one time. So I do apologize for that. We're now at the end. We're now at the end of our meeting for today. And if there are no further ado, I will now close the meeting. All right. So, as chairperson of the Alcohol Beverage Control Board for the District of Columbia, and in accordance with Title 3, Chapter 405, Office of Open Government, I move that ABC Board hold a closed meeting on January 12, 2022, for the purpose of discussing and hearing reports concerning ongoing or planned investigations of alleged criminal or civil misconduct or violations of law or regulations, and seeking legal advice from our legal counsel on the board's investigative agenda, legal agenda, and licensing agenda for January 12, 2022, as published in the DC Register on January 7th, 2022. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. I will now take a roll call vote on the motion before it's now been second. Mr. Short,
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Henson,
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis,
Edward Grandis, I agree.
and Mr. Anderson, I agree. As it appears that the motion has passed 4-0, I hereby give notice that the ABC Board will hold this aforementioned closed meeting. Pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, notice will also be posted on the ABC Board Hearing Room Bulletin Board, placed on the electronic calendar on ABRA's website, and published in the DC Register in as timely a manner as practical. We have officially adjourned this meeting for the day and also for the year. I want to wish everyone a happy new year. See you hopefully in the new year. I now direct all board members to return to executive session for further action. Thank you very much. Have a great day.